Hi everyone, and welcome to one of many Jasiri Network's live sessions. We are live on LinkedIn and various other platforms. And today I'm with Salma Ibrahim, better known as Salma Ibra, and she's the founder and CEO of Business Week Afrika, and also a dear friend of mine. Interesting, maybe not too interesting, but like interesting fact is we connected with Salma on LinkedIn, and that's why I keep saying like LinkedIn is such an amazing platform for me.
Platform.
Yeah, right. And especially now, because I transitioned from like corporate to entrepreneurship. I didn't there was no particular plan, so there's been a lot of like learnings that I take from people who've done it, who've been there. And Salma is one of them. She runs one of the biggest business summits in Africa, and she's going to tell us all about it later. But Salma, welcome to the live sessions, and you're the first of one of the first guests.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's such an honor.
Yeah, yeah. And where
Welcome,
are you tuning in
everyone.
from?
Yes, I'm tuning in from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm in
Mm-hmm.
the office actually.
Yeah,
So today is Tuesday. Tuesday is usually a very long day for me, Monday and Tuesday.
yeah.
Full day in the office. So I'm in the office.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you.
Mm.
Now, to kind of just kick it off, we have a few quick fire questions just to warm us up because I know I'm in London right now and it's a bit chilly, sort of. It started like a rainy day for some reason, and it's summer. But yeah, so quick one. Tea or coffee, and what's your current go-to power through for summits? Like do you have a favorite drink that you carry around during summit planning?
Tea or coffee? Tea. I'm not a coffee person at all.
Yeah.
But when it comes to planning, I'm usually just drinking water. I have like a big water bottle that I carry around, so I'm always just drinking water.
Like this one.
Yes. I don't know where mine is. It's supposed to be somewhere here, but I always have my water bottle with me.
Yeah. It's so surprising.
Mm.
Every time people ask about like tea or coffee, Kenyans tend to say tea. I prefer tea. But we are known
I'm
for
not
our
a
coffee.
person at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. One word you'd use to describe Business Week Africa.
The summit.
No, like Business Week Africa itself.
Hmm. Top of mind, impactful because of all
Mm,
the impact that we're trying to create around the continent. So impactful.
amazing. What about the summit?
The summit is oh god, transformational because there's so many things that happen during the summit that creates a lot of change in people's businesses.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. A book
Yes.
or podcast that has deeply
Mhm.
influenced your entrepreneurship journey.
Hmm. Atomic Habits, definitely. Definitely.
Everybody's reading that book. I haven't read it
Yes.
yet.
Please read it. It's not the conventional, like, how can I put it? It's like
Mhm.
a guide on
Mm,
discipline. You know, we're always being told about discipline, 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 and we're told so many times you just ignore it. It looks like it's cliche, but then it's just a step by step on discipline, and it's really nice. So
awesome.
many lessons.
Yeah.
Mm,
Okay. I think
mhm.
I don't know if I bought the book or not yet. I don't think so because I can't see it in my
You
collection.
should definitely read it. And it's a very short read. You can finish it in like 2, 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Mm.
Okay, cool. If you could host the Business Week Africa Summit in any dream location in Africa, where would it be?
Ah, just one.
Mhm.
I think if anyone knows me and follows me anywhere, you know, it's definitely Lagos. Definitely.
Mm.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Lagos, but I really, really want to go, you know?
You should. You should. Everyone should experience Lagos, even if it's like once in their life.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
A country you visited that surprised you the most and why?
Again, Lagos, Nigeria. So Lagos. Um, I say this a lot. Lagos is not a real place. Everything in Lagos is just it's just the opposite of what goes on in a normal kind of setting. So I'd say Lagos again.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to go to Lagos. It's on my bucket list. So Lagos, I know people whenever they mention South Africa, they want to go to Cape Town, but I really
Cape
want to go
Town.
to Joburg, and I haven't
Yes.
been. I haven't
I've not
been.
been to South Africa as well.
Okay, I think we need to do like a girls trip or something for
We
business.
should
For
definitely.
business, so that we
Yes.
can write it off.
Or rest.
Oh my God, I'm sure my
Yeah.
accountant will hear this and they'll be like, Nancy. But anyway, amazing. So thank you, Salma, for joining
Yes.
us. And we'll be discussing a couple of things. Because
Mhm.
I've had the privilege of getting to know you a little bit more. So I do know a bit of like your story, maybe not to as much extent as I'd want. And so hopefully today we'll be able to explore that. From your
Hopefully.
origin and mission for starting Business Week Afrika. It wasn't always called Business Week Africa. So you'll share with us
Mhm.
what the initial name was, your own personal journey from being a journalist to now being an entrepreneur, exploring various markets in Africa. I know sometimes people say Africa is a country, but it's not. Like Africa has over 54 countries, and we are so unique in the way we do work, the way people relate, the cultures, and everything. And I
Mm.
think something special that I want us also to discuss today is around career breaks and how some of these career breaks are kind of like catapults to something even greater. And so,
Mm.
as we start today, I wanted to sort of like start with the origin story. How did Business Week Africa start, and what sort of problem were you trying to address? And you also have to tell us the name that you started with and why you changed it.
The okay. So Business Week Africa actually started almost by mistake, almost. So a journalist. I did broadcast and PR when I was in school. So immediately after finishing school, I did a lot of work with climate change. So I used to work a lot around the space and moderate a lot of conversations because with journalism, you're always in front of the camera and just leading conversations on different topics. And then 2020 COVID happens. And I know so many people changed so many things about their lives during COVID. I was one of the people who did that. In March, the whole world went into like a lockdown. So that means, especially for us as journalists, you can't go back to the field. There's so many stories, especially I do a lot of human interest stories. So human interest stories, zero. Everyone is at home, everyone is in the house. So there's typically almost nothing for you to do for like a long period of time. So there's a friend of mine called Ahmed. I met him in Lagos the previous year. So Ahmed and I were just speaking randomly, and I told him, Ahmed, honestly, I really don't know. I have nothing to do. I don't know what I can do for now. Are you guys doing anything? And I was working with something called Safaricom Base at the time as well. So I was meeting a lot of people in the space. So Ahmed tells me, yeah, I think I have an idea of something we can do, and we can do it probably either for profit or for fun. But let's sit down, let's speak about it, and then we see what we can do about it. So we sit down, and then he tells me about an event he hosts in Isili. You're from Kenya, so you know Isli. So
Yeah,
Isli
for
is
those
from
that don't know,
yeah. So
for those
Isli
that
is like a business bay. It's an area in Nairobi where there's so much retail and wholesale kind of trade happens, and it's trade from literally anything: clothes, shoes, food, spices. It's like a market, like a big market. And most of the people who trade in Isli are from a specific tribe called Somalis. So Abdi Ahmed is a Somali, and he did something like an exhibition in Isli for people the previous year. So he was telling me we could do an exhibition for business owners, but in Nairobi now, not in Isli, and then we could do it with different tribes, like different cultures, like just everybody, invite everyone. And I was like, okay, that's interesting to do an exhibition for business owners. So essentially, that's where the idea popped off from the get-go. That was the inception. So we get to planning, and when we get to planning, this is 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So keep in mind it's election year in Kenya. Ahmed is so big on elections. He's a politics freak. Like he can't do anything during elections. And one day he just came and he told me, Salma, look, I can't do this exhibition. My head is in politics. Like he's on TV just listening to politics. He wants to know who is running for what. And me,
Yeah.
I wasn't really interested in politics at the time. And I was like, okay, let me take this up, let me do it for fun. I have nothing else to do, so let me do this. And then at that time we were calling it Nairobi Business Week, so essentially the
Yes.
event was called Nairobi Business Week. So that means looking for locations, trying to understand who exactly is your target audience, trying to see if you know anyone from the space who can come and exhibit. So it's a lot of research and just going. So through research, I found out about Sarit Center. So Sarit Center is one of the biggest expo spaces in Nairobi, and it's like perfect for expos. I go to Sarit Center. I tell the people about my event. Everyone is excited, and they're like, "Okay, so this is your invoice." They give me an invoice. I couldn't even believe how big that invoice is. It was around 1.2 million Kenya
Yeah.
shillings. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I'm just trying to host an event. Why are you charging me all this money for an expo?
Yeah.
I slowed down because essentially we were supposed to do it early, 2022. So I slowed down, just trying to see what can I do, where can I get money if I want to do this event. So these are the early days of entrepreneurship, not knowing anything about entrepreneurship. I spent my whole life in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So we set a date for 7th of July. I'll never forget 7th of July. So we were supposed to have the event on the 7th of July.
Which year was
But by the
this?
time 7th of July, yeah,
Which year was this?
2022.
Okay.
So by the time it's the 7th of July, not but it's almost 7th of July, and then elections is in August.
Hmm.
African countries and elections, nothing works. No one is going to work. Everyone is telling you, let me get back to you after elections. It's just not a good environment at the time. So even when it comes to people who are supposed to come for the exhibition, because this event was just supposed to be vibes and inshallah, like I just want to meet
Yeah.
guys, do an expo, have fun, go home. So everybody is telling me, let's speak after elections.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm supposed to talk to corporates because I'm very new in this space. I don't know who's supposed to help me. Like everything is just, I'm trying this out. So let me think. When was the breakthrough? So I'm very big with communication. I'm a journalist, so that's my work. So
Yeah.
I decided, okay, let me just put this thing out there and see if there's anyone who's interested to come on board and help, or if there's anyone who knows about events and wants to like advise or let me know how we can work together. And I wanted to do an ad, so I told so many of my friends, just do a video of yourself, take a selfie, do a video of yourself, and say Nairobi Business Week. So many of my friends sent out the video. That's actually the first video on my Business Week Africa page. So everyone did a video and sent to me. So Nairobi Business Week, and then I wanted to compile it into one video of just people saying Nairobi Business Week, to create curiosity in people's minds, and also just to let people know this is an event that we are planning. So we posted it on social media, and then I was telling everyone, please put it on your stories, like just blast this thing. So one of there's somebody who works at GIZ. So I already have the pitch deck. I don't even know how to write a pitch deck by then, but I just have like a write up of whatever it is I want the event to look like. So there's a lady who called me. She's from GIZ, and she was like, this is really interesting. And we have a program where we have female entrepreneurs, and we've been taking them through like an accelerator program. And it would be really nice for them to actually um, come and showcase in an expo.
Mm.
So we want to come on board. So first of all, I don't know what GIZ is. I'm not aware of how anything works in the ecosystem. So we book in a meeting, and then I go in, pitch, and then after I pitch, I'm so sure the lady was just looking at me like, oh wow, okay, you clearly have almost zero understanding of how this works, but it's fine. We're gonna invest in this because this is something that has potential and also is something that we are very keen on doing for our entrepreneurs, which is access to markets. So, however that looks like, whether it's an expo, whether it's getting them to do, I don't know, interviews, however it is, like it's a platform for exposure, they're definitely there to do it for their entrepreneurs. So before I left the room, they said, okay, we're going to come on board, we're going to give you sponsorship, but I'm so sure the only reason why they couldn't give me more money than they would have at that time is because this is, first of all, a new product. You have no proof of concept. I don't even know what proof of concept is at that point. But they said, okay, we're going to give you 8,000 euros, pounds. So I was like, people are given money to do this kind of events. Like, it's not something that you have to to like go look for it. This is my first encounter with any kind of funding. So, funny story ever. I go home, and so it's like you have to sign a contract, and then you send in your account details, and then now the transactions start happening from there. So this is my first experience with funding. I don't know how it works, and for some very, this is so funny. I don't think I've ever said it out loud in public before, but I go back home and there's a friend of mine. She's called Wangeshi. She works in the space. I was like, by the way, I got a sponsor, and tomorrow, this is the contract that is there. I've read through it. Please read through it as well. Let me know what maybe needs to be changed or what I need to know. And then tomorrow I'll send in my account details so that they can like give me the money. And then Wangeshi just asked me, "Oh, so you're going to send your own personal account details to to a whole development organization for them to sponsor?" And I'm like, yeah, what's the issue that they want to give me like money to run this event? I'm here. That's my first lesson of now businesses having, you have to register business and then your account comes to the business. Like, it's really been a journey of learning from day zero. So it was a problem of, these guys want to give me this money this week. I'm
Mm.
not like, registration is like a tedious process. This is where I learned that you could trade through another company who's already registered and also does the same thing. So like, this is so many lessons that we were learning as we go. And then the day of the event comes. The event was free and open to the public. And then one other thing that I forgot to mention is, when it comes to entrepreneurship, just understanding your strengths and what you're good at from the beginning also leverages you when it comes to some of the things that you can use. So I'm very good with people and networking and all that. And I had met a friend, she's called Cynthia. She's also in the ecosystem, and I was telling her about the event. And she told me, by the way, it's a really a good idea if you have something like an opening ceremony, just to be able to tell people about the event, why you're doing it, and also attract more entrepreneurs. Because if you tell people you're holding an expo, okay, you're holding an expo, so why should I attend as a person?
Yeah.
And she had a lot of contacts in the space, and she was able to like give me a background. These are some of the corporates that are working in the space. These are some of the people that you can reach out to. And then we put together a really good panel. And I remember on the day of the panel, the CEO of Nairobi Stock Exchange at the time just asked me, like, how are you able to get all of us in a room at this given point? I've never seen, because the panel was him, the CEO of Nairobi Stock Exchange. We had also the CEO of Kenya National Chamber of Commerce at the time.
Wow.
And then one of my best friends, Georgie Derang, was the moderator. I just called him and I was like, Georgie, please come do this. He came through. There was an alumni of Tony Elumelu Foundation. I don't know if you're aware of like the Tony Elumelu
I
Foundation
am,
Fund.
Salma.
In one of the alumni as well. So it
Yeah.
was like a really good panel at the time. And the opening ceremony, people came. It was really a good, like a very good learning experience. I remember I was seated in the panel and I was learning so many things. I was like, this is my pen. It was a really good learning experience. And then we opened the expo up and people came. And then we had people coming in from Ghana. I met some of the founders for Mobex. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mobex Ghana. Their
Mm,
founders were there. We met a few people also from, I remember I met someone from Cameroon, met people, like there's people who had come in from different parts of the continent as well. I'm not sure if they're based here, but I know the Mobex founders had flown in for specifically that as well. And after the event, there was so many things. You know when you do reports for an event and it's like a learning experience, there was
yeah.
so much takeaway from that. And one of the biggest takeaways from that was me as Salma. These are my first days actually in entrepreneurship, and there's so many things that I don't know, I need to learn. And then during the summit as well, there was so many people who had like a lot of questions of how do I do this, how do I do this, like there was so much interaction during the summit, and we had like a whole floor and people had their own barazas just having conversations.
Yeah.
So one of the things that really stood out at that time was there's so much to learn about running a business, and whether you've run a business for like 5, 10, 20 years, there's still so much to learn. There's still a lot of knowledge and skills. There's a very big knowledge and skills gap when it comes to our ecosystem. So from that, now that's where our curriculum arm was born. We do a lot of capacity building. That's where it was born. So also by mistake, we ended up growing a very large community of entrepreneurs across the continent as well. So that's where our data arm was born as well. So we offer data access as one of the products at Business Week Afrika. So that's just how things have grown as we go.
Yeah.
And we transitioned from from Nairobi Business Week to Business Week Africa, also from all the what is it called, from all the
Feedback.
conversations we were having with entrepreneurs across the continent, and also from that common problem of people just want to learn different ways how to do business and all that. So with our knowledge and skills arm, we ended up having training programs for people here and everywhere else. So it's just that's almost the genesis of how Business Week Africa started from then until now.
Wow,
I
that's
know it's a very long
amazing.
story. That was the genesis.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know that you didn't actually have a business registered when you are starting the summit.
Nope. Mm-mm.
That is
I think this is a
crazy.
story I need to tell as we plan the summit.
I think you do. That is so crazy.
Mhm.
But you know what? I don't
Yeah.
even blame you because sometimes I guess because also of your background, because you're in like journalism, I love that you had just
Mhm.
so much drive and you're like, oh, this is what I need to do and I'm going to do it, even though I don't have like the full extent of the knowledge that I need. I love that you leaned on people. I love that you also identified your strong points. And so, yeah, I think most people should do, like, if you're really good at one thing, do it and then get other people to support you in sort of like the other bits. But I think that's so
Mm.
interesting. Oh goodness. There's so many learning points, or there's so many takeaways that I also take from your journey with my journey. But I think I did have a registered business. At least that one I
I
did.
did. Like this is my first. So I have operated businesses before, but
Hmm.
in the informal sector, and
Yeah.
also just to be able to get a few coins to like go out for the weekend, have
Yeah.
some fun. Like it was never a structure of
Yeah.
this is what I'm doing. I even something so random. When I was doing business before, I was
Hmm.
running a company, not
Hmm.
a company, like a shop.
Yeah.
It was called Closet 1,000, and everything in it was like 1,000 bob. So I used to think If I buy something for 500 bob and I sell it at 1000 bob, that's my profit. Like 500 bob is my profit. Like there's so much of how we do business that is not even structured. It's just like
Salma, I can't hear you. Sorry. Wow, wow. This is what you get for having a live. Um, all the technical bits happen live. Hi, Salma. Can you hear me? I don't know if we've lost Salma. Oh, she's dropped. We were having a few issues when it comes like Salma's Wi-Fi, so you'll just have to bear with us as we get her back on board. But she'll be coming back very soon. But I think it's really interesting, sort of hearing her journey into entrepreneurship and literally learning as she goes, having to open a business, or rather to register a business, opening a business account, and then pulling off one of the most amazing summit that there is, when it comes to like businesses. So I salute Selma. I think she's doing an incredible job. And oh, there you are. We can't hear you. We can't hear your audio. Okay, you're back now. I can hear you.
yes. I'm sorry, my connection is really bad.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I was actually just saying how when you're doing a live session, those are some of the things that happens. And I think I
Mhm.
literally prefer this mode as compared to like, you know, pre-recorded, edited podcast, because people kind of get the real first-hand experiences, reactions, emotions. So it's
Mm,
totally fine. You're back now. And thank you
yeah.
for powering through with the Wi-Fi issues.
Yes.
Awesome, cool. I think we've touched on a couple of things, and I love that you've also mentioned like, your journey, because sometimes people can be very, very shy about starting something because you feel like you don't know enough, whereas you literally just need to have the drive and willingness to learn as you go. But you've mentioned how for your first summit you had people from various countries coming, to join you. You've mentioned Ghana. I think you might have mentioned, I don't know whether you mentioned Nigeria, but I know you operate in various markets. Kenya being probably
Mm.
where you're based at, but like you're in Uganda, you're in Tanzania, you're in Ghana. You just came back from Ghana. You didn't tell me to go with you. So what's up with that? You're in Nigeria and you're also in South Africa. So I'm very curious to sort of learn what from being in all these different markets, what are some of the nuances of working there that you've picked out? Like what are the differences? Because I'm quite curious. I know a couple of them, but I want to hear from you. Because sometimes people think Africa is a country, or Africa is very uniform, but it's not, right? And it's
Mhm.
for me, I think the different cultures are the beauty of operating on the continent. But what have you found to be the nuances when it comes to like working there, cultural, and how they sort of impact your business and how you have to think about it as well?
So we are currently in Nairobi,
Mm-hmm.
Lagos, and Kigali and Lusaka. So these are the only places that we are there, like
Oh, okay.
presently, like
Mm-hmm.
have representatives. So the other cities that we're in that we don't have like physical and local representatives, we operate digitally
Yeah.
through now our training programs. But the
Yeah.
ones that we're there on ground, uh, let me. So I'll
Where
just
do you
start.
start?
Yeah, where is that? So the first place we launched out of Nairobi was Lagos. Lagos is one of my favorite places ever. So
You
I'll talk
have
about
mentioned.
yes.
I think after this,
So
you'll just move to Lagos.
I did actually. I live in Nairobi and Lagos.
Oh,
So yeah, the first time I went to Nigeria, I was moderating a session.
yes.
And funny enough, it wasn't even in Lagos. The session was in another state. It's called Ogun State.
Mm-hmm.
For guys who are familiar with Nigeria, Ogun State, a place called Abeokuta, and that's where my session was. So I was working from there, and then coming back. The airport is in Lagos, so you definitely have to pass through Lagos. And I remember just passing through and thinking, damn, I like this place. I want to come back. As in everything, Lagos is chaotic. Like when I say chaotic, I mean pure chaos. Even the way people talk, you'd think they're fighting if you're not from from Lagos. So I was like, you sit in traffic for a very long time, and the things you see in traffic is things you would never see anywhere else. And I was like, I'm definitely coming back to Lagos. Same program, came back the next year, and I got to experience it just a little. And then the next year again. And when I was thinking of expanding to like a new market, Lagos was definitely the first one I had in mind,
Yeah.
because number one, they have like the largest population in the continent. So it's a huge market for us. There's huge potential for one. And then number two, their ecosystem, according to my research, was a very vibrant ecosystem, and there was definitely going to be a lot of competition. So I was like, if I actually get this market right, I would definitely be able to exist in other markets a little bit with a little bit less effort. So it was a challenge, and I wanted to experience it. And one of the things that I learned about the ecosystem in Lagos is entrepreneurs in Lagos are very spoiled, like extremely spoiled. There's a lot of support organizations,
Mm.
and some of the things that we offer for our revenue model, entrepreneurs in Lagos get it for free. So many development organizations, training programs, so many communities. The like how Jasiri is trying to build a community, like even Business Week Africa is trying to build a community. So many communities as well. So it's so much competition on the ground, and some of the differences are West
You're actually
Africans
the
bring a
second
lot of.
person who's mentioned that. I've had a lot of like, there being a lot of support on ground for entrepreneurs, business
They're
owners.
spoiled. Yo, they're so spoiled. Like, it's crazy how spoiled Nigerian entrepreneurs are. So, us being an entrepreneur support organization, it's like some of the things that we offer are our revenue model. So, if an entrepreneur can get it for free, the biggest question, okay, this is a question that every entrepreneur needs to ask themselves either way, even if they're in a flourishing market. The biggest question is, why you? Why not all these 700 other support organizations? Like, why you? Why should I pay for a service by you? Why should I come for your training? Why should I pay
Mm.
you to organize an event for me? Why should I use your data management system to get some of the to do research? Why should I, like, it's a lot of why you. So also that's a really good learning experience, because you get to improve your product, you get to try and understand what exactly is unique about your organization or your product that can be a selling point. So it wasn't, it's, I won't say it was, it still is a very big challenge operating in Lagos, but I like the challenge. I love it. The people are very aggressive when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to literally
Is it
anything. I think
aggressive? Is it
Nigerians,
aggressive
yeah,
or like ambitious?
ambitious and aggressive at the same time. Like,
I
we are doing this, we are going, and I think it's a
I love
really
the
good thing.
energy.
Same, I love it so much. So that's one of the biggest differences as well. Is most East African, South African businesses or organizations are impact fast, but
Mm.
most Nigerian organizations, startups, and everything is profit. So it's impact, profit. We are so used to building for impact fast. They're so used to building for profit fast. What else is a very big difference? They have all or nothing kind of work culture. Like we're gonna work until 1 a.m. We're gonna do I don't know what, and we are more relaxed. Like it's 5 p.m. Guys, go home. I really have nothing to do here. So there's a lot of differences. The markets are different. The payment systems are very different. We have one of the best fintech infrastructures, M-Pesa. This side we still pay using bank transfers. Infrastructure is very different when it comes to the Lagos market. So so many power outages. Like infrastructure is just out of like I don't want to. I'm trying to be very
Please, Salma,
politically
I have a
correct.
lot of Nigerian friends. Please, please, please. I don't
Trying to
want
be a
that
politician.
to.
There's a lot of differences,
Yeah,
but the problems are more or less the same. So
yeah,
the gap is there for knowledge and skills.
yeah.
The one of the things that we offer at Business Week Africa also is we do a lot of strategy, so go to market strategy.
Mm,
So that keeps us at a very competitive range. Like that's a competitive advantage that we have because most of the people who want to come and set up in Kenya or Uganda or Tanzania, we're able to grab them as clients and do their market entry strategies.
yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of cross pollination, if I can use that
Yeah.
word, when it comes to our markets.
Okay, cool. Well, you've spoken a lot
Mhm.
about like Lagos. What about the other markets you have local presence in? You've mentioned, is it Lusaka and Kigali?
Lusaka and Kigali. So those two are almost the same as operating in Nairobi. So
I see.
almost the same and a little bit slower. Their ecosystems are very young.
Mm,
So it's like coming into an ecosystem where you're already 1,000 miles ahead
I see.
and you're definitely, you have the clientele is there for you, like it's readily available. Everyone is ready to adopt and just use your products.
Yeah.
So they're very young markets, a little bit easier to penetrate,
Yeah.
and also the impact in those markets are so much bigger because you have better ways of doing things. Like the need is there, and also the supply, the demand is there.
Mm-hmm.
So you coming in with this product is a product that actually fits the market. And so the problems I have with the other markets is just pricing. I really don't understand their local currencies so much, and I'm trying so much to avoid the just convert it to Kenya shillings conversation. Really trying to avoid that. And I always tell most of my Nigerian friends, stop converting.
Yeah.
If you have 80,000 Kenya shillings, you're a millionaire in Lagos. So stop telling me this is like you're converting. So it's the
The
that's one of
currency.
the problems that I have with the newer markets. So just pricing. So it's like, what are some of the things that I need to consider when it comes to pricing? So
Mm,
I think that's some of the things. That's the biggest problem that I have with these other markets, but they're easier to penetrate. Um, Working with people, especially in Kigali, let me just say Kigali, everybody is really a team player. Like guys are ready to learn, ready to grow their businesses, ready to be like, okay, so what can I apply when it comes to this?
yeah.
And actually, operating in Kigali has really opened my eyes to trying to have a mass product kind of product for ourselves,
Mm,
which we are going to be launching during the summit. I want to have like a mass product, something that would be able to be consumed by the different markets without like considering the differences, but
yeah.
something that you can be able to incorporate and still be relevant in your specific market.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think
Yeah.
I'm also keen to understand like what do you consider before going into some of this, new markets? For example, why did you go to Lusaka, not Harare in Zimbabwe? I've been to Harare and I loved being there. So like how do you how do you figure out which market to go into and which ones not to? What thought process do you have? And have you pulled out of any markets till now? Are you planning on doing that? Are you planning on expanding? Are you planning on kind of like centralizing some of these regions as kind of like head regions? Yeah.
So, having in mind how our expansion strategies are,
Mm-hmm.
most of them start with our monthly events.
Mm,
So, one thing that I always consider when it comes to going into a new market is, do I have existing networks in that specific city? And then also, how does their ecosystem look like when it comes to the kind of people that we are targeting, which is mostly SME owners? Funny enough, we are not too big on the startup side. Most of
yeah.
our clients are SME owners. So it was really easy to do Lagos because I had all the networks that I needed to have on the ground. And also the SME market is buzzing. Like 90% of employment rates in Nigeria stem from SMEs. Like their SME ecosystem is huge, huge, huge. So those are some two factors that are usually
Yeah.
top of the priority list. So that most of the markets that we're in are honestly me having networks on the ground and then being able to say this is our onboarding process. We have an actual onboarding process if someone wants to come on board, and our onboarding process is very friendly to any kind of new market that we have someone present who is able to come and lead the team. So usually it's just, what kind of networks do I have on the ground? Can I trust them? We do the onboarding system. It starts with with a training for you to understand how we operate, and then it goes into now onboarding and giving you, these are some of the resources that we have on ground, and this is
Yeah.
what we expect from you. So it's usually, what kind of networks do I have on the ground, and also how is their SME ecosystem looking like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I think as we wind up, because we're kind of like almost hitting the 45 minutes mark, but as we wind up, I wanted to to briefly talk about even before you transition, that career break. I think I'd love to hear your thoughts around, you know, you deciding to take that career break. And I know during your break you traveled a lot. And then how you also sort of like now after the whole career transition, now getting into entrepreneurship, and what were the things you wish you knew before that career break, and what are the things you also learned getting on this other end, because there's so many similarities. Like, I think I keep mentioning this, but there's so many similarities between your career journey and mine, because I used to be in corporate audit and then I took like a 9 months career break. And anytime I bring up my career break, there's always so much mention about why or how. And if especially you're transitioning from one corporate job to another, then during the interview process you will definitely get questions around, oh, why did you take the break, what did you do during the break? There's never that space of maybe just somebody needed a break, right? Or maybe somebody needed to pick up new skills or new hobbies or wherever. So I'm curious sort of like how your career break was, and what experiences you learned from, and what some of the things you could also share with other people sort of in that sort of space wanting to take the break.
Hmm. So my first break was very, and it wasn't intentional at all. It wasn't like I'm taking a break from journalism to go into
Mhm,
entrepreneurship. It was
mhm.
very, it's COVID. There's really nothing I can do for now. I try this new thing. I like it. And I'm like, do I really want to go back to this side? Do I not want to go back to this side? Uh, Actually, my first love is definitely journalism, storytelling, production, and all that. And we are launching an arm for that in
Mm,
the Business Week Africa portfolio, which is going to be the main arm. I'll tell you about it later as we. Oh, we don't have time. Anyway, so that
you can
wasn't
come back
really intentional.
again. You can come back again.
Yeah, but
I have you again,
I
Salma.
definitely Okay. But I took a very intentional break last year
Mm-hmm.
between, so my summit was in August, so September to March. September, October, November, January, February, March. I said 6 months. It was a sabbatical. And honestly, I took it because I needed a break. Like, entrepreneurship is so hectic. Sometimes I ask myself, why am I here? I should have just gone to look for a job somewhere. So it was very hectic. I was almost running mad from the summit. And I just said, I want to take a break. And then I took a break. So bear in mind, I have a team. So the company is still running, and I'm available if anyone has any questions that they need answered. And then also, rest is very important, by the way, very important. And for you, just taking some time off is very important, but also you need to take some time off when you have like things to fall back on, like you've saved enough if you want to travel, you have an emergency fund for a few things, because in this economy no one's taking a break for fun anymore. So I think when it comes to career breaks, that's a whole other topic on its own.
Yeah.
But yeah, but for me, I am a very big advocate for rest. And actually, taking that sabbatical made me make a very big decision about my life. I'm a very random person, by the way. So during that sabbatical, I told myself, I think I'm going to be taking 6 months sabbaticals every other year. And even after my summit this year, which is on the 21st and 22nd of October, I'm still going to take a sabbatical until the other year in Feb. It's really important to take time and actually live life outside of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think when it comes to career breaks, it's a whole topic of its own, probably for another day. But you need to keep in mind your survival for the period of time that you want to take the sabbatical from. And by the way, nothing like we need to, I'm trying to think of a politically correct way to say this. I think we need to really rethink how we live life as entrepreneurs. Not everything has to revolve around capitalism, and you don't have to always be on top of your game, always creating a new product, always in the rush to do things. Like, it's okay to breathe, it's okay to take a break. Nothing, you won't die, your business won't die. Like, actually, when you come back, you're going to be more um, head fast. Like, you're going to be more focused, you're going to have a clear head. Like, it's not, you don't always have to be on the move all the time. It's a very toxic thing that we have in our heads as entrepreneurs. I don't know who taught us that, but we really need to unlearn it.
Yeah. Oh wow. Cool, cool, cool. I mean, now that you've mentioned about your summit, could you please remind us when exactly the summit is, where the summit is, how people can sort of get their tickets? I know Salma is trying to get me to get to Kenya in October.
Yes, you have
Yeah.
to.
Tell
Yeah.
us, Salma.
So our annual summit happens every other year. This year we're going to have it in Nairobi on the 21st and 22nd of October. So
Mm-hmm.
21st is on a Tuesday, 22nd is on a Wednesday. So we have activities happening during the whole week, but 21st and 22nd is for us as Business Week Africa. So what essentially happens during our annual summit is we bring together four types of people in the ecosystem. So the business owner, the investor, the ecosystem enabler, which is entrepreneur support organizations, financial institutions, like just anyone who is a support organization type of person. And then we have policymakers. So we bring these four people together for 2 days, just to be able to, number one, network and see who can I get into collaboration with, who can help me with my business in the here, what
Yeah.
kind of improvements do I need, what do I need to learn. So it's just 2 days of pure networking, forming collaborations, and also just getting to learn a few things. uh,
Venue?
in the
Do you
previous
have a venue?
years, yeah,
Do you have a
sorry.
venue planned?
Yes, we are doing it at the Sarit Expo Center. I've
Nice.
always done it at the Sarit Expo Center, so it's going to be at the Sarit Expo Center.
Yeah.
We're targeting 2,000 people. We're going to be having an exhibition place, a marketplace. We have a networking village because we realize these conversations can be very lengthy and boring sometimes. So you need like a place to decompress. So we have a networking village for that. We have a virtual reality space. We have other summits that are happening inside the bigger summit, like different sessions on finance and investment, market access. We
Yeah.
have a lot of activities that are happening. I think I'll have our website, so businessweekafrica.com,
Yeah.
Africa with a K. When you click our website, you're able to download a presentation that has all this information and also where you can get a ticket from. If you want to come onto the exhibition, you are definitely welcome. It's a
Yeah.
very high traffic area where you can be able to launch your products, get people to use your product, get to do research on the kind of improvements that you need. So I'm not even talking about on-site sales. That's besides the point when it comes to exhibition. So it's just you also getting a place where you can be able to have hands-on and physical interactions with potential customers and also existing ones.
Yeah.
So we have like it's a
The
whole,
whole thing. No, I'm so excited for you,
yeah.
and I hope I get
And then
to
for the
meet
other days
you
of
as
the week,
well.
we have different organizations planning. We have an after party.
Hmm.
We have an opening ceremony. We have an investors roundtable. So there's so many things happening in Nairobi at the same time because, as of course, we have all these people in Nairobi during that time. So other organizations would want to take advantage of having the organizations around for
Yeah.
them to plan for their own things.
Amazing. Amazing. All roads lead to Nairobi for the Business
Yes,
Africa Summit.
in October. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. So final thing before we close off, and this is five quick fire round as we end. Hopefully we can be able to end this because we are very typical Africans. You say goodbyes several times before you finally
We
say
can see
goodbye.
3 hours.
Cool.
Yeah.
So first one business hack or habit that has transformed your productivity.
One business hack or habit that has. So I have, whether I'm working or not, I have 1 hour
Mm-hmm.
in the day where I get to do something for my business, anything, even if it's like replying to that one email,
Yeah.
even if it's like brainstorming on how we can improve our products, like anything for my business, even if it's like getting on a call and speaking to Nancy about what do you think, like just I usually have
Actually,
one
that's how
hour.
we got on this because I was
Yes.
attending one of your weekly webinars, and you're like, yeah, if anyone
Mm,
has ideas on how we can sort of make more impact, for the
yes.
webinars and also for the summit, let me know. You'd be very keen to be part of it. I was like, yeah, I'm happy to do it. Yeah, I mean, totally. Okay, another one. A myth about running summits in Africa you wish people would stop believing.
Ah, God, this one. Everyone always says there's too many summits that are happening, so there's really no need of me attending maybe summits because they are
Yeah,
overdone.
yeah.
It's a myth, and I feel like something that is overdone in quotes means there's a very big need for it, and there's a
Mm,
very tangible outcome that comes out of it. So the
yeah.
myth is having too many summits that are happening at the same time is eroding maybe the ecosystem, or it's too much. That's a big myth.
Okay, another one. A must have for anyone attending the Business Week Africa Summit to maximize their experience.
A must have, please have a goal on why you're coming for the summit,
Mm.
because there's so many things that are happening and you might come to the summit and get distracted by all the many things that are happening. But
Yeah,
please have a goal. Like even if it's I'm coming to meet Nancy so that Nancy can help me venture into the UK market.
yeah.
Have a goal. Have a goal in
Mm.
mind. Yes.
Totally
Because they
agree.
might come.
I totally agree because I've had to. There are moments I've gone to events to meet one person,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to
Me
events
too.
to meet one person because either they're not responding to my emails or they're not responding to my LinkedIn, but I know they'll be in the
Mm-hmm.
event. And again, I think that
Mm-hmm.
personal touch, you
Mm-hmm.
can't substitute it for anything. So totally agree.
Even if you're just coming to eat snacks, like
Yeah,
please have one goal that you say, when I go home, I need to have this.
for sure. For sure. Cool.
Mm.
Another question. One thing you wish you knew before starting Business Week Africa.
One thing I wish I knew is, as a first time founder, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, your first product will probably not succeed, and it's okay. Like the first, it's definitely probably in your head, but then when you go to the ground, you realize that it won't succeed. So just
Oh no, we have internet connection issues again. We're doing so well. But anyway, we'll just give Salma a few moments to come back. Um, but I think what she wanted to mention was around, like the fast product when you're a business owner, or even startup. It can fail, but that's okay because sometimes you create in a vacuum or you're creating with just assumptions. And once you release the product into the market, then the market is the one that's going to tell you whether you got it right. And I think that's why it's so important whenever you're creating or coming up with a product, a solution, to ensure you take people along the journey so that you're able to get immediate feedback and you're able to tell whether your product or your services is going to do well or not, and hence you can figure out, do you need to double down because there's such a huge demand, or do you need to like pivot because people are saying this or that. And I've learned firsthand around that. So I've had lots of like things that never really also got to see the day of light because the minute we released it, people were not like really resonating with it. But yeah. Hi Salma, you're back. It's okay. That's what happens in life. Like I told you, having a live
yeah.
session has so many can have so many technical challenges, but we're here. And I think
Mhm.
also maybe it's time for us to wrap it up, so hopefully soon. But you were mentioning something about your first product never going the way you might think.
Yeah, so it's, don't fall in love with your first product and think this is going to jump, because
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, there's so many things you learn from the ground. That's why you're told, if you have an idea, don't overthink it and overplan it and what,
Yeah,
just go to the ground, do it,
yeah,
because that's what's going to dictate how your product is going to be. And also just speaking to a lot of your target audience when it comes to people who consume your product,
yeah.
it also just changes a lot. That's why I'm always speaking to people. I'm always like, okay, everyone who's gone through our training, I have, it's hundreds of people, but I've had conversations with all of them. It's like, what
Mm,
was your experience? How can we improve?
mm,
Comes to research and you speaking to potentials, one thing you should always do is, please, please, please don't always just consider what they're saying, also consider what they're doing, because people
mm,
will tell you, oh my god, it was really nice, your product was good and stuff like that, but are they buying? And if they're buying, which ones exactly are they paying for? It's a lot to put in place.
yeah. Awesome.
Mhm.
Last question. In one
Mhm.
sentence, what's your advice to young Africans, or even not Africans, because sometimes people, come out to outside of the continent to operate in Africa. So, young
Mhm.
Africans or people looking to build businesses in Africa, and yeah, like if they're thinking about going into multiple markets, what would you tell them?
One sentence. I think
Mm-hmm.
I would tell them to please stop building for survival, build to build global brands, to break bank, to build good things. Stop building to pay rent or
Yeah.
to survive. So
Yeah.
stop building for survival and start building global brands.
Amazing. And that's it from us today. And thank you so much, Salma, for joining me. This is our very fast of the LinkedIn Jasiri Network sessions that we're going to do.
Nice.
We are
Okay.
hoping to do them every Tuesday, Thursday mornings, hopefully. I don't
Wow.
know how
Okay.
long we'll do it though. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's thank you for having me and all the best in the series. I think they're very necessary to be had. They're conversations that are very, very necessary.
Agree, agree. And I think I've come across so many amazing people, and the conversation we have behind closed doors and even at personal level, they're so valuable. I'm always like, other people need to hear these conversations, because we remember when we connected when I was in Nairobi, and I was just like, this is such amazing information. I'd love for other people to sort of hear the discussion we were having. So yeah, that's it
Mhm.
from me. We'll see you guys on Thursday with somebody else. I'm very, very, very excited for the next person. But yeah, so thank you everyone. Bye bye. And I'll see you Selma shortly. So don't go anywhere,
Bye
Selma,
bye.
or
Thank
I'll
you.
stop the live.
Okay, okay. I'm here. I'm here.